Okay, so in this video we will make this render here. And why this render? Because I needed a new thumbnail for the course, and my vision was something like a money printing machine or a money machine, and a light that comes from the top. It makes it look dark and cinematic. So then I just made a simple scene with a wall and a floor. Added a rocky texture to the ground and some light and some volume. First I was in Eevee, then I also saw in Eevee didn't look very good. So I changed after that to Cycles. Now I changed to Cycles and it looked not much better, but much more realistic. And then for the wall I added some metallic texture to it. And here you can see I tried also something with the displacement of the rocky texture, but it didn't look good at all, and I will change it later. So now I changed the floor. I wanted to make like a more liquid floor, like a wet floor, and I played around with the lighting, but the lighting looked not very cinematic and it looked boring all the time. So I had to change something, and I tried different things with planes and things like that. Then I started to add I wanted to make like a hall, maybe that looked better, but you will also see that didn't look much better. Then I beveled here around. All looked very boring and not very cinematic. And here you can see now I added a noise texture with a color ramp. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to make the wall a bit more interesting. And you will see now I added a rusty texture. It makes it look like it got used 50 years ago or something. So that looked already a bit better. But I didn't like these whole things, so I deleted them and tried again something with the light. I tried some spotlight. I tried something with a real light, but it didn't look very good. So now you will see I added this hue and made like a lighting just that comes from above. Here I tried some contrast things out that could look good, but this lighting I really liked, and I added some depth of field to it. And here you can also see I changed the camera to a liquid A view, so it looked like a bit more cinematic. And here I also added some additional lighting, so the floor is not so dark. And the only composite thing I did was just a glare, so the lighting looks a bit more interesting. I tried also other things out with this cube, but nothing looked better. And then I started to add some particles because I thought it looked too boring in the render, and in the end you will also see the difference between with dust particles and without dust particles. And I think dust particles can make your render much more interesting and much more cinematic if you use it right. This is the render without dust particles, and this is with dust particles. I think it's much better. It also looks that the lens looks a bit dirty. Then here color grading. This is the final render. If you want to learn more about Blender or how to make cinematic scenes, you can go to the link below and you will see an access to the community, and there you have also courses, new courses that will come out, and you have a free beginner course. It's a mini course for product animation, and these new courses will come soon, but they will be paid. And then there's also a community section where you can share your renders, where you can also get free content. You can also learn more about the mentoring and how it works. And there's also live calls and free gifts and a community chat.